Enough Clipper High, friends. Darth Momo here for the final time for this interjection on these videos. This is my Momo Flashback to 2015 as part of my scrapped 2015 pre-Force Awakens Star Wars reviews. I only ended up filming 4 of them. I did not film A New Hope. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because I'd already scrapped the project by then. And then Empire and Jedi I rewatched on the day of The Force Awakens. So obviously I never would have filmed reviews for those, but I made it all the way to the Revenge of the Sith, which obviously my thoughts have really evolved on this one over time. I used to really love this film. I've downgraded my opinion quite a bit on it over the years, but this would be flashback to a time when I really wholeheartedly loved this movie. So yeah, let's flash back to my 2015 review of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Hello. So unless you're new to the channel Darth Momo, you should know by now I've decided to go back and rewatch and critique the pre-existing Star Wars films. This is part 4 of 8, so let's dive in. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Wait a second. There are heroes on both sides? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Oh well, let's continue.
Well, much better. It appears we're actually finally getting somewhere with these films. But as always, I have some questions for this film. Not some big questions, but ones that are important enough, such as, what the hell is going on at the Opera House? Like, performance-wise. How is it possible that water is floating in mid-air? And why does Anakin have a scar? Don't tell me it's because of this. Why doesn't the Council send both Anakin and Obi-Wan to Utapau to capture General Grievous? Why doesn't Masameda notice Obi-Wan and Yoda in the Tantive 4 when he's contacting Bail Organa? Why doesn't Darth Vader attend Padme's funeral? And how does Yoda know of Owen and Beru Lars? Also, how does General Grievous' ship lose gravity when it's falling downwards in orbit? I mean, it's in space, it has artificial gravity. This shouldn't have been a problem. That's probably my biggest problem with the opening space battle. Other than that, the Battle of Coruscant was okay. But watch this. Is it just me, or does it feel like this clip should have been reversed? Like it should have been Obi-Wan who waited until his fighter started, or came to a stop while Anakin recklessly jumped out of his fighter and started attacking the droids. And Count Dooku felt completely unneeded and useless in this movie. He was in the last 45 minutes of Attack of the Clones, and he had like 10 minutes of Revenge of the Sith. Feels almost pointless to have killed off Darth Maul and introduced Count Dooku in the first place. Personally, I thought Darth Maul should have been the Darth Vader of the prequel trilogy, the main bad guy, instead of constantly bringing in new villains every film like George Lucas did. Speaking of which, I get to talk about our new introduced villain, General Grievous, a Separatist general and a Jedi hunter. And this is where I think Lucas missed a huge opportunity to make General Grievous a real... He could have made General Grievous a real huge threat to our protagonist. He could have made him a really scary villain. But nope. He had to give him that stupid cough. I mean, look at him. His design, his voice, his collected sabers, his spider-like walking ability was cool. But nope, screwed him up. That first scene where we met him, instead of kicking ass, he sucked ass. At least the love story didn't suck ass entirely. I mean...
You're so beautiful.
It's only because I'm so in love.
No. No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
That was some awkward flirting. And I do want to point out how Anakin at first doesn't seem too happy to learn that he's going to be a father. Of course, that could just be due to Hayden Christensen's poor acting abilities, which also didn't help his Anakin's poorly written fall to the dark side. But after that, after he became Darth Vader, he was a fucking badass. I mean, like when he killed all the Separatist leaders on Mustafar.
And this merciless look.
Ugh, that's a Sith I wouldn't want to mess with. Which brings us to the final two lightsaber battles. Let's first talk about Yoda versus Sidious. It was an okay fight. The lightsaber combat wasn't great, but it sure as hell wasn't as bad as his first lightsaber fight. Then they start throwing around Senate pods like they're crazy, like, oh, you can throw that at me? Oh, I'm gonna throw it back at you, watch that. But then that end part of the battle, when they were using their force abilities against each other, that was freaking awesome. Fantastic. That's what I felt this fight should have been. Not a lightsaber combat test, but your knowledge of the Force and ability to use it. Because Yoda just shouldn't be swinging a lightsaber. But then we had Anakin versus Obi-Wan, which was freaking awesome. I loved it. This battle felt real, emotional, and was all in all well done. I loved it. It was perfecto. It was the lightsaber fight we all wanted. The one we all needed. It combined the story, emotional aspect of the original trilogy fights with the special effects and the fast pace of the prequels. And we loved it. And then we get to Padme's death, which was lame and dumb as fuck. You don't die from a broken heart. She was just choked unconscious by her husband. Just have that be the reason she died. Aye, why? Damn it. But otherwise, I thought this was a great film. It's my favorite film. I thought it was worthy of being a Star Wars film. And I loved it. But of course, it wasn't perfect. There are a few flaws with it, as always. So, to wrap up, here are some things The Force Awakens can incorporate to not have the same flaws as Revenge of the Sith. Number 1, don't throw bullshit lines in your opening crawl. There are heroes on both sides. Evil is everywhere. The fuck? Number 2, seize opportunities to make villains actually villainous. Don't make them stupid like General Grievous or Count Dooku. Number 3, don't throw villains in for the hell of it like Count Dooku. Maybe if you've got a villain, keep him off unless it's absolutely necessary to kill him off. Number 4, don't ruin your villains. And number 5, make your sci-fi movies actually sciencey and don't defy the basic laws of gravity. Well, that's all today. Next up... Aw, damn it, George, you had to do that. You just had to.
Well, guys, that was my final Momo flashback to my 2015 Star Wars reviews. As I said, I did not do any of them for the original trilogy, so I apologize for that cliffhanger. I wish I had done A New Hope. I wish, just to see. Obviously, that one was a little bit more different, a little bit more positive about the film. Obviously, my thoughts have changed on Revenge of the Sith, but I'm glad that this one wasn't at least as cringy to watch, other than maybe some of the extreme vulgarity. But nevertheless, this has been a project that was kind of sitting on my back burner for years. I kind of sat with this footage for probably a solid year or so, and then ultimately deleted it, and I figured the time was past. And I came across this footage maybe a year ago, half a year ago, and I recovered it, and I said, you know, I'm going to edit those someday just as a flashback, just for fun. I thought it would be a fun compare and contrast, but it was very much a back burner project, so I'm very glad that I finally got around to doing this. So I thank you guys for watching in for this little fun bit of history for the Darth Momo channel. For those who've been watching my channel for a while, you could definitely tell these 4 videos were a product of their time, and they were definitely from this 2015 era. So thank you guys for joining in. Darth Momo out, and may the Force be with you. Always. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, comment down below and hit that like button. Oh, and check out some of my other videos. I'm sure you'll find them a delight.